So we're going to pick up where you left off, which was the friend spell falling off of the leader of the orc band, and him becoming agitated and deciding that, hey, peace is not an option, and we're going to go get him. So if you could roll for initiative.
So is that the fist, the combat tracker?
Yeah, go to the fist, the combat tracker. You're at the very bottom. And I'm giving you control of Kassos as well.
Okay. So then click.
Yep.
And click.
And then click.
Yes!
Hey, good job.
Chicken boot.
All right. So we will begin combat with the one beside the leader getting all excited. He's going to rush forward his 30 feet. And then he's going to chuck a spear at you. Because
oh, man, come on.
You agitated his boss. And he's going to chuck a spear.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
16 misses, though. And that is the end of his turn.
All right.
Stella.
He chucked a javelin, not a spear.
All right, whatever. He chucked a sharp stick at you.
Well, yeah, but if you call him a spear chucker, everyone's going to get mad.
All right, he threw a javelin.
All right.
Stella, after his turn, runs forward and gets in between you and the orcs. The uncomely orc rushes forward and goes, "Oh, there's a woman. Don't kill her, y'all." And then he is going to throw a javelin at you. Which missed horribly. And then Stella is going to punch this orc in the face using one of her legendary actions. Which he died. The disinclined orc is going to move forward 5, 10,
15. So she just like whomp in his face, crunches in.
Yep. The disinclined orc doesn't really have a good throw on Stella, so he is going to throw a javelin at you. Which missed. And Stella's going to use her last legendary action to move up to this orc and say hi. This orc is going to... I'm going to have him roll a perception check to see if he saw Stella kill the one orc. He did. And he's going to target Stella because of that. But he thinks he can reach her. And he's going to swing his great axe at her. Which hits her. For 9 points of damage. As his axe slashes into her arm. And she looks at it and goes, "Well, that's not very gentlemanly. I'm going to have to teach you manners." And then it's her turn. The wound closes. And she hits that one with her great sword. And she turns to that one and hits him with her great sword. And his two heads just go flying off. 10, 15, 20. She moves in between these three. Targets this orc with her sword. And she missed. So she swings again. making up for it by completely disemboweling him from the back. And then she's going to hit that orc. Because she action surged. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She gets one more attack. This orc is probably pissing himself right now.
Yeah, I'm like, violence.
And
it's happening.
that is it for Stella. She's taken out half the troops. It is now Kassos' turn. And he has a 60-foot fly.
Okay, so how does this multiple action thing work here? Like,
Oh, when you go to use his breath weapon,
mm-hmm.
you'll click on the lightning breath, and it'll pop up with a little screen that says consume resource and place template, and click both of those should be checked. You go yes, and then there'll be a little like line that shows up. Use your mouse wheel to aim the line and target the ones you want to target. His breath weapon originates from him, though.
Yes, of course.
I had to explain that to someone else, so.
The question is, can he end up here and target upwards? Can he do both in one round?
Yeah, that's 55 feet. He can fly 60, and fly means he can get 6 inches off the ground and fly over there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
And then he's still got them within his sight. So yeah, he can use that breath weapon,
blast,
and hit those 3. Yep.
I guess the question: if he landed here and he shot up this way, could he get all 4 of them? Or
I don't think it's only 5 foot wide.
Uh-huh.
So I think 3 is the most he can get in any situation.
Well, unless they had a whole lot more in a line, right?
Well, no, yeah, I mean, but in this setup, I think the most he can hit is 3.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go with that then. And so from here, how do I initiate his? Let's see.
On his character sheet, you would click on his lightning breath, the dice.
Okay.
That'll bring up
He's got a repulsion breath as well, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting. And amphibious. So it's got to come from him, and then I rotate it.
Rotate it and then position it on him.
I see.
And where the shattered look is, I guess you can get 4 of them if you aim that just right. There you go. Right? They all, well, 2 of them are able to jump out of the way and only take half damage, but 2 of the orcs get fried to death as lightning just encompasses their entire body and just fills them with so much electricity that their eyes start to melt and they just sit there and shake for a little bit and convulse and then they fall to the ground. And Kassos still has 5 feet of movement and can still make an attack as well, but he can't really actually get to anyone in that 5 feet.
All right. And then in turn.
Yep. Stella's going to move up to this orc. Actually, she should move to that orc. That way she doesn't have to move again. And the tight orc goes, "Oh, thank you for making it easy to hit you. I don't have to go anywhere." And he swings his great axe at her, which missed. At which point in time, Stella turns around and punches him in the face, collapsing his skull and causing him to fall down dead. Now it's this orc's turn. He was wounded by Kassos. How high is Kassos?
Dude, like really high, man.
Well, he couldn't have been that high and hit him with the lightning bolt.
Kassos is amphibious, so if I would imagine he likes to try to like keep a low profile.
Okay, so he's on the ground.
Yeah.
All right. So this orc moves forward. He's gonna take a swing at him, but he missed. That's the end of his turn. This animated orc is going to swing at Stella with his great axe, which missed. This orc thinks there's a chance he can win. Steps over here and hits Kassos with his great axe. And Kassos takes there's a very loud thwack as the axe sinks into Kassos and then withdraws. And that was you.
All right. So I imagine I've got a 30-foot movement, but does that mean I can still do anything after that?
Yep. You get a movement, an action, and a bonus action. And you can use your action to move additionally if you want to.
Well, how do I again read?
What are you looking to do?
Um,
All right. You can click on not the die, but the spell name, and that should open a box underneath to let you read the text.
I've opened up to read enough, and I'm sure that it would work just fine on them all, but I'm also not too greatly concerned about my comrades either. So if I rush up here and attack, and again, how do I target T? There we go.
Okay. Your sword sinks into him and withdraws, and blood spurts everywhere, and he's injured.
There was no nothing I could really do to give him an extra bonus damage. The weapon of my sword is not about bonus damage, it's about whether or not I accept healing. Is that right?
Yep.
Or is there the opportunity to? There was something about the opportunity to. Was there the opportunity to do more damage if I?
Nope. Because the 1d8 radiant damage that it already did it. The extra 1d8 radiant.
I see. And that becomes what I could heal myself if I expend a charge, is that right?
Yes, you could heal for 3 points in this instance.
Right, okay. And of course, I'm not even injured, so
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
All right. Oh, Stella gets to go. Should I leave this one to you, or do you want me to finish him real quick?
Does she even have time to ask that question before?
Oh, sure. He's sitting
uh,
there bleeding and pissing himself, and
I mean, yeah, leave him to me.
oh, too late.
Okay.
You took too long to answer. She's like,
Well,
normally you enjoy talking, but you took too long. And she moves over here.
when I was more worried about Scaly Hide over there anyway.
Wow. Wasting all of her crits.
How's that a waste?
Oops. I have to check something real quick. I'm not sure she gets another action surge. Oh yeah, she does. She has 2 of them, so she'll use her last action surge to try to hit this guy again since she whiffed it on that last one. And they are all dead. And combat is over. And she goes...
At least I got a little blood on my blade.
She comes over and goes, so next time that we're gonna cast a spell like that, we should, like, plan better.
Yes, agreed.
But it was a good try. You know, it doesn't always have to end in violence, but... And yes, at least you did get to stab something.
I think Scaly Hide over here. That's a nice, nasty little cut.
Yes, I'm gonna take care of that right now. She's just gonna burn a first level cure wounds. We'll see how that does. Yeah. He's not bad now. He's 4 off from full.
Yeah, like, okay. On a short rest, I could take care of that with a musical effect, I think.
Well, on a short rest, he could roll a hit die and recover that too.
Good lord, you heal normally on a short rest?
Yep.
That's
why I offered you alternative rolls to be grittier. Because there is an alternative where it takes a short rest is an 8-hour period, and a long rest is a week.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, well, that makes more sense. But yeah, except for the recovery of spells. Good lord.
Right. That would be the bigger issue. But
yeah.
And you only get, like, you would get 2 hit die between each long rest. So if you got into a combat, you used one during a short rest. You get in another combat, you use another one during that short rest. You get into another combat, you don't have any more hit dice. It's not horribly overpowered.
Right. How are you feeling then, Kassos?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I don't think I've ever been hit like that before, but, yeah, I feel better now. Thanks for healing me.
That was a fairly savage bolt.
Yeah, and, pretty cool, huh?
You leave nothing behind in your wake, you say to Stella.
Not supposed to, are you? I mean...
no.
If you commit to violence, you should commit to violence.
You need me for what?
I was just offering you the opportunity to get vengeance upon the man who took your family. I mean, I don't need you. If you don't want to hang, you don't have to.
Oh no, I look forward to the day when I can somehow maybe learn to move a tenth as fast as you were moving. Yeah.
Okay, well, so we don't have any questions about how I avoid having shitty things happen to me now, right?
No,
Okay,
no.
yeah.
Um,
No,
I'm,
it's
I'm,
definitely not a
I'm,
case of me needing you with me. I just felt really bad for not being able to prevent what happened. I thought I would, give you an opportunity to continue the hunt with me.
you should pass that opportunity along to this one here. He's
Well,
missing a parent as well. I'm gonna go get the horses.
okay, be safe.
So I march off.
All right, you grab the horses. Um, you left them far enough away; they're not skittish at all or anything, so there's nothing to worry about there. You don't need an animal handling; you can just bring them back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
just like,
they're way over there.
how am I going to get that kind of power? I ask myself and my horse. Hmm.
It just whinnies at you and nuzzles your head, chomps down on your hair, kind of chews it a little.
Suppose gods could stand to her. Huh.
Have
I'd
you come
have to
back?
see. Yes.
Well,
So,
that was eventful anyway. Are we ready to continue forward?
yeah. So I mount my horse. I can see why you also don't need any help in this department. You don't tire, do you?
Not the same way you do, no. It takes a bit more for me to get tired.
Were you this fast from the moment you were turned?
Oh no.
Oh, it's a an unlifetime of learning how to fight that's
Yes. Yep.
helped in this regard. Hmm, interesting. Well, lead on.
Um, DM to player.
Yeah.
You did not want to look for loot.
Well, that's a good point.
You don't have to, but
Yeah, well, I'll take a moment to rummage through the orcs. I
you
had
find
a
about
feeling
15
they
gold. Um,
wouldn't have much.
yeah, amongst
Um,
all of them, they didn't have a
that's-
whole lot. Their armor is shoddy. Their weapons are passing. There's nothing of great value there, but there is
yeah,
some coin.
nothing to indicate the quality of a magic item that I could even bother to detect magic.
No. You could throw the
Yeah,
spell up if you wanted, but it would just recognize you, Stella. Do dragons
yeah.
show up as magical?
I wouldn't know. I mean, does a person show up as
I
magical
don't
unless they
think
actually
so.
have magic on them?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Generally, the way I would rule that myself if I was DMing is no, a person is not innately magical, but the enchantments that are on them might be, the
Right.
magic items that are on them might be. The dragon wouldn't be innately magical, albeit innately capable of magic. If a dragon was in flight and old enough, I think it is a magical supernatural dragon fear. But I'm not sure that Braun gets that anyway. But I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll just say
Other than that,
if you did throw up a detect magic, it would just pick up you and Stella. There was not much
okay.
of note on these guys.
Yeah, I don't mind getting 15 gold out of them though.
Yeah, I mean, that would let you buy some
Just
underclothes.
something to, yeah, something to throw
And
around.
your sword did have a
Should I put
scabbard.
that on my character
Yeah,
sheets,
toss it on
or
your
is that
character sheet.
something? My
Um,
sword did have a scabbard.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, somehow you already have 575 gold
Well,
and 35 platinum. I don't know where that came from.
um, starting coin.
Yeah, you should have like 25 gold. Because you start with 10, and then you just picked up 15.
Okay,
Or did you get more than that because of the fact that you're a noble? Let me check that real quick.
that's very possible.
That may be why you have so much. Let me double check one thing. Because you either have 50 or 25 or 590.
But then you also didn't ask me to pay for starting equipment much.
You should have 115. You should have had 100 for starting, and then the 15 you just got.
Okay,
So,
fair enough.
all right.
So I'm riding along then. Riding along on my horsey mobile.
Yep. So you guys continue on towards the cliff or the ocean, and Kassos suddenly becomes excited and, hey, guys, I recognize this. We're really close to my home.
Well, the goal is to get you home, so
Yeah, and we're almost there. This is great.
lead the way.
Okay, you guys follow me. And in his excitement, he jumps off the horse and just starts flying because his flying speed matches the horse's running speed.
I guess I'm galloping as much to stay behind him.
Yeah, yeah, it's a he's not like dashing. He's just excited and wanted to fly. But he's like flying
So I
with you
guess we're
guys. The horse is gonna run at
trotting
him.
behind him.
Yeah. Um,
Is it starting to, the sun's coming up at this point, or?
as you reach a point where you can see the ocean now, and there is black sky and stars above. And as you turn to look behind, you do start to see that just the very beginning moments of lightness are starting to creep into the eastern sky. Well,
Glance over at Stella and see if this disturbs her in the least, even.
well, there's a path. Now she's not too worried about it yet.
Didn't figure.
Um,
Okay.
there will be a point where she's worried, but well, there's a path. It looks a little precarious for us, but if we're gonna check out the hoard to try to get an idea of the age of the dragon,
Well, that and
well,
beyond that, I also think that we should probably take the day in the cave. It seems to be a well defended
oh yeah,
region.
it's really well defended. You have to swim for like 2 minutes under the water to get into the cave, and then it's like just rock and it's super dope. You'll like it.
Yeah, are you going to be able to maybe help get the horses there, or
Go ahead and give me a perception check. I can't remember why I opened your sheet. Oh, now I remember why.
There we go.
Okay.
Perception.
You look down this path, and you realize you're not going to get the horses up down that path. It is very narrow, and you're about 300 feet above a beach that then opens out into the ocean. And there is as you traverse down the cliff face, you hit this beach, and off to the side on the left is a sheer cliff. This beach is like kind of cut into the cliff faces. And Kassos points at that cliff face and goes, "So when we get down to the beach, we'll like swim under the water and then swim towards that cliff face, and that's where the entrance is."
Is he capable of lifting the horses?
No,
He's
he's
not
just a
strong
wormling.
enough.
He's not strong enough to do that. No.
Um,
I won't kill the horses if you leave them tethered to a tree up there, and there is some grass for them to eat.
looking around,
With
is
our
this
previous conversation is why I say that. I'm not going to kill your horses.
Yeah, no, I mean, is this a truly deserted area? I mean, does it look like it gets visited by anyone or anything?
Um, as the light's coming up and you have a little bit better vision and your sword out, and go ahead and walk around and give me another perception check. When you look towards the swamp, as there's almost like a delineation here between like a grassland and a swampland. And as you look in towards the swamp, you can see where there is more creature activity, but those prints don't really extend into the grassland. So in the grassland, it looks like there's not a whole lot that's big anyway that comes out into this area. So if you keep them away from the swamp, they'll probably be all right.
Is there any spells that you know that could ward the area to give you an alarm if something was to approach?
No, I don't have anything of that effect.
From your cave, if they were to scream, would you hear them?
No, because we're like under so much water and rock and such that no, we wouldn't hear them.
All right, well,
Well, if
at
they
the moment
die,
they
we
don't
can just.
carry anything of great critical interest, but I do like this horse.
Well, if I have to buy you another, I will, but I think they'll be okay.
He was very responsive.
Well, he still is. It's not like he's dead yet.
No, but the next one might not be.
Well, I don't spend my gold on shitty horses.
Well, good. I don't like to. It doesn't mean that it happened.
Right.
All right, all right. Let's try to take refuge where the horses can't. And although we tether them, um, I don't. I don't want to leave like signs that they would normally be ridden.
Okay.
So, in other words, I'm going to take whatever saddles and try to maybe hide that sort of thing in the bushes.
Give me a survival check. Looks like you did a good job.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, let's meander our way down the cliffside then. And
All right. So as I said, you're looking down this cliff, and you see that it basically goes down like 100 feet, switches back on itself for another 100 feet, switches back until it reaches the ground. Some places it looks to be about 2 feet wide. Other places it looks like it necks down to a foot, and then it's hard to see details past, your 80 feet or whatever, 60 feet.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
there
well,
may be some
just kind of
surprises
mostly watching my
beyond your
feet.
vision. Yeah.
Mostly watching my feet, trying to listen out. I'm sure the surf makes it a little bit harder,
And birds
but
start chirping.
I also have Stella nearby, I'm sure.
Yep.
So,
Are you going first, or is Stella going first?
um,
I'll meet you guys at the bottom. So see ya.
yeah,
Kassos just
I'll
flies
let
down.
her, because she could get out of my way easier than I could get out of hers. So I'll let her.
Go first.
Yeah,
All right.
go ahead. I'm behind you.
Um, she begins walking down. And about 50 feet down, she points out that in front of her it looks pretty unstable. And she suggests that you hop over that little section.
Okay.
She's going to hop over it as well. Okay. She hops over, showing you where to start and stop, basically. And then she moves.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Acrobatics.
I'm better at acrobatics.
Oh, fuck.
Of course.
Alright. Fuck me.
Doesn't matter what I'm good at. If I'm
Well,
good at something, I fuck it up.
you think about this, we're about 50 feet, so you lose your footing as you go to leap, and you do some sort of a weird pirouette, and then you fall off the side. You only fall about 7. No, you only fall about 30 feet,
Oh, only 30 feet.
and then you hit the path below you. Yes, there's going to be some damage to this.
Are we talking rock or sand?
It is 7 points of damage as you land on the trail below you. And I need another acrobatics check to make sure that you catch yourself on that little bit of trail that you've landed on.
Well, there we go.
All right. So you
With my
land, your
toe.
ankle folds under you, and you hit the ground, and you like grab onto the nearest rock and make sure that you are stable. Stella runs down
Alright.
to. Actually, Stella pops into a bat, flitters down, lands beside you.
Alright.
All right, well, that wasn't as graceful as I was hoping for.
No,
Here,
that was stupid.
Let me give you a little heal. So we'll subtract the 7, and then I will target you, and she will give you a cure wounds. Where'd it go? Over here. Okay, so she brings you back up to full health with a cure wound. Well, at least you caught yourself. That's the bonus there.
Yeah.
Let me help you up.
Get up.
As she did land on the downhill side, so
Okay.
she is still in front. Hmm. Do you have any? No, you don't have any rope on you. Let me check my bag and see if I have some rope.
Do we have to get down further?
You still have another roughly 160 feet to go.
Okay.
But unfortunately, she does not have any rope. Oh, it looks like we're both ill-equipped for this adventure. Alright, well, try to be safe back there, and,
Normally better than that.
well, it's early. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe it was the excitement of stabbing an orc. I'm not sure, but
Just lost my balance.
it'll be fine.
It
And
is
she
also very
begins
unusual.
to make her way down again. At one point, it narrows down to about a little 4-inch ledge that you can just barely get like the side of a foot on, and then you gotta get the side of a foot on. That's about 5 feet wide. So it's just 3 paces.
Another acrobatics check.
Another acrobatics.
All right.
Oh, Stella make one too.
I mean,
Stella could fall.
dang near.
Well, the DC was 12 on that. You guys both made it. So you scooch along, hugging, leaning into the cliff face as you go, and you get over that little section. You make it to the final switchback, and you notice that the pathway kind of like ends, and there's about a 3-foot drop before it continues again beneath you.
Okay. Put my hand on a rock and swing down.
Okay.
To hopefully land like the dancer that I am.
The DC on this one's a little higher.
Yeah, alright, fine.
Just a little. Not a lot. That was good enough.
And there we go.
You handled that just fine. As you grab the rock and swing yourself down and land with grace this time.
Yeah. I have to be trying and not scared, see.
Stella just pops into a bat and flitters down and lands. It's too bad you can't change into a bat. That'd make this way easier.
I've been thinking similar things.
But it's good exercise.
Yeah, it is.
Let's continue
Getting
on.
back up will be more interesting.
Yes, getting back up is going to be the opposite of this. It should be more fun.
All right, continuing on.
Continuing onward, you reach a point where the trail has widened out significantly. It's down towards the bottom. It's maybe 25 feet drop into the sand. But there's a rock slide that has come across.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, what would you like to do looking at this rock slide that's cut across the path and then 25-foot cliff?
Is the rock slide basically something that I could ride the rest of the way down? Is it shale? Is that what we're talking about here? Or are we talking about a rock field?
So the rock has slid.
Field.
like some rocks have fallen off of the cliff face and down onto this and made a pile.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it's not something that continues down. There are some more rocks at the bottom of the cliff that had like bounced off of this, but it's more like there's just a pile of rocks obstructing your path.
Okay.
Maybe like 2 feet, 2.5 feet tall, about 4 foot wide.
Do I see any cause to think that there might be something hiding amongst the rocks? Snakes, lizards, that sort of thing?
Give me an investigation since you're actively searching it.
Yeah.
Definitely no critters.
Just want to make sure that it's I'm not going to get startled by a chuckwalla or something as I try and make my way across the rocks.
And as you're investigating and you get close to it, you accidentally kick one of the rocks and it shifts. And the whole pile kind of
Aha.
wobbles a bit.
Okay. So if I try to pull one of the rocks back that looks like it's holding the whole thing up, um, is it possible to maybe get whatever?
Give me a strength check.
All right.
I'll let you pull a rock. We'll just see how big a rock it is. Yeah, you grab one about the size of a bowling ball, and you tug on it a little bit, and it pops free. I need an acrobatics check.
Okay.
That's good enough. You start to fall back, and you twist your body and hurl the rock using that pushing force to push you back into the cliff face. And the rock goes down,
All
and
right.
about half of the slide falls away. So now it's still about 2 foot tall, but it's only about 2 foot wide.
Um, Poking about and prodding, does it seem to be more stable now?
Um, no. It still feels like walking over it would be a bit precarious.
All right. Well, I guess I'll dance across either way and
All right, give me one more acrobatics check.
hope that almost a one.
As you're walking across on the top, the rock starts to slide away, but you hurriedly leap, and you do manage to land on the other side of the path.
Okay.
And yeah, you did not fall and take any more damage.
And just kind of roll off my butt off the wall.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well,
And you continue on, and you have now reached the sand.
okay.
And Kassos is sitting there going, "Wow, that looked like a lot of work. I'm glad I didn't have to do that."
Yeah, you are. Very glad.
Yep. Well, fortunately the tide's not super bad, so we should be able to swim fairly easy. I
My
assume you need to
swimming
breathe.
okay. How fast are you? Am I able to maybe like hold on to your
I was thinking
back
that too.
spines and or your wings or something?
Yeah,
Just hold my breath and let you go?
that's still gonna be an issue, I think. I don't know if you can hold your breath that long. But let's give it a
2
shot.
minutes?
Yeah, it's 1 minute. Everyone has 1 minute of holding their breath, and it's 1 minute for every point or every modifier in con, and you have zero. But I think you can't drown in 1 minute either, so you'll make it.
All right. Well,
So, um, Kassos leads you over to the cliff wall, and he goes, "Well, I think this is about as close to the entrance as we can get on land. Yeah, if you grab my foot, I'll just use my arms to propel myself through the water, and I'll try to go as fast as I can."
all right. I'll
So you
try to stay
guys,
out of your tail's way because I'm sure that's going to be
yeah, stay right behind me. Maybe grab
yeah.
both legs so you stay centered on me.
Do it in such a way that I'm up underneath so that the tail can alligator him faster.
Okay.
You know,
Um,
grab onto the back claws as much as
yeah,
anything.
actually, you know what? I'll just grab you in my talons.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'll just grab onto the back of your armor, and I'll just go under that way.
Okay. Well, I do my best to not exert myself at all as I hold my breath.
Okay. Um, you make it out into the water. Cassos tells you to take a deep breath. You take your deep breath, and you are plunged into the water. You already knew it was kind of chilly because of just swimming out to that point, and you notice as you get deeper, it gets colder, um, and darker, and you see an opening just before you enter it because it's so dark, and you are in absolute darkness. It's cold, and then all of a sudden you're in the air again, and the temperature has become a bit warmer, but you are freezing cold.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Stella comes up behind you. Well, this seems well secured.
it sounds like wood.
Um, is your sword still lit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Lighting it up.
You see a rather large cavern, about 60 feet, 70 feet in diameter, about 45, 50 feet tall. Um, and you see a small pile of gold and items off into one corner, furthest from where you came up.
Okay.
Um,
I'm.
it's not a horribly large pile. Um, what would be good for figuring out what you know about dragons?
Well, I don't know.
Mm,
History.
yeah, give me a history check.
Got to be able to use this skill somehow.
Yeah, okay, that's good enough. You know that in ancient or in past times that it was often told that the larger the gold pile, the older the dragon was. And looking at this pile, you know that this Cassus's mother was not very old. In fact, she might still be a young dragon herself.
Hmm.
Maybe just barely at the age of being able to lay an egg and have a child.
In what I know about dragons, and I'll even probably ask him if I don't already know this. Why do they deign to collect a hoard?
Oh, well, the more gold we have, the more power we have. That's all. I mean, sometimes it's because things are really cool and we like to collect really cool things. you know. But for the most part, it's for the power. If you're sitting on all of that gold, you just become a more powerful creature. It's not
The
just not
the
just wealth
influence of
power,
the
not just
wealth.
influence power, but actual manifestation of power within us. Like my magics will be stronger the larger my hoard is.
Well, I ask because I don't wish to.
You guys have helped me, so if you want to go over there and look and see if there's something that would be of use to you.
That's what I was thinking. I'm going to cast a detect magic
Okay.
on the horde.
Um, you pick up a suit of armor that is magical. Um, what does detect magic actually tell you? It doesn't
Tells
tell
me
you
it doesn't tell me what they are. It tells me that they
that
are.
they are. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And so I'm initially sorting out anything that does come up with magical aura, and then I'll use identifies.
Okay. There's the suit of armor. There is a dagger. There is a helm, and there is a granite sphere.
A granite sphere.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Having put those things aside, um, of course, I can ritual any of them. How
Yeah.
long does it take to? So the 10 minutes was for detect magic, and then I'm wondering.
Well, you can't. Oh yes, you can ritual cast. Um, but I think you have to do it for each item.
Of course I do, and I think it's an hour, but I just need to.
I think it's only 10 minutes. Yeah, ritual cast is 10 minutes longer than the normal casting time. So it would take you 40
Yeah.
minutes to identify
Okay.
all four items.
Let me make sure, however, that identifies casting time. Okay, it is 1 minute.
I think
Um,
is it a casting time of 1 minute or does it
it's
last for 1 minute?
it's a it's a casting time of a minute. Um, well, it would have to be. I
Yeah,
mean,
so it'll take you 44 minutes then. So 11 minutes for each item.
yeah, no worries to maintain.
Yeah, you've got time.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
are
would like.
cold though.
Well, I mean, throughout that time, I'm sure that it would be it would be good to be maybe warming up a little bit. Uh, I mean, obviously, for the sake of the psychology of it, I make my clothing look like it's really, really warm.
All right.
Um,
So you're wearing
but
lush furs now.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. But that's obviously really only for the psychology of it.
Right.
Is there is there anything in here like driftwood or something that we could build a fire out of,
Um,
or would it even be advised in such a cave as this
give
to
me a survival
burn
check.
the oxygen?
Yeah, give me a survival check on that. You know you don't want to start a fire in here
Yeah,
because you'll
that's
burn
kind of
up
what I
your
figured.
oxygen. And you
Well,
also figure that the driftwood's not going to burn all that well because it's still moist.
his electricity might have been able to get it going, but I guess ultimately the thing is that there's not enough.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay. Well, what else can I really do then? I don't want to put on this armor just for the sake of getting warmer from it.
You sure?
Not until I've identified it.
All right. Okay.
So we have what again? So as I can determine the order in which I'll identify.
There is some chain armor. There is a dagger. There is a helm. And there is this granite orb.
Okay. Let's take a look at the armor first.
All right.
For
Yeah.
that reason, chain armor would help to keep one warm if it's something I can safely wear.
All right.
And of course, I'll explain to them what I'm up to. I'll even ask Kassos, are you even aware of the properties of the things you have in your hoard?
Um. Yeah. I know what they are because my mom told me what they are.
Um,
Do
well,
you want to know what they are?
before we begin, an overview wouldn't be bad, but I still like to identify anything I'm going to use.
That chain shirt. I
Hmm.
guess it gives you like a +1 to your AC. Um, the dagger is a +1 dagger. The helm is a helm of dread. Mom told me when a humanoid puts it on their head, their eyes like turn red and they look scary. And the orb, God damn it, I made the damn thing and I forgot what it is a shard of dawn.
Uh, Disappointing, but okay. A shard of dawn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start with that then, in terms of the identify, so that I can get a full concept of activity, activation capabilities, as well as a full idea of what it does.
Okay. So, what you discover is that this is a small round sphere of smoothly polished granite.
Mhm.
I did say granite before, right?
I took it for granted.
Okay. You learn that it says, when you say the words, fill my night with light, it is going to shine brightly in a 30-foot radius, 40-foot tall cylinder. And this light is sunlight. Not just light, but sunlight. When you do this, every creature within the cylinder, besides the person holding it, must make a Constitution saving throw of DC 16. If they fail, they take 4010 radiant damage, or half as much on a successful save. A creature must again make the saving throw when it ends its turn in the cylinder, and the light will move with the sphere.
Okay.
It lasts for 5 minutes, and you may do this once a day. So basically, you become a little beacon of sunlight as you walk around.
This is not something I feel like I really need to do just to warm up, or be at risk of hypothermia. I'm hoping. Am I that at risk at the moment that I should go ahead and like just tell everyone to get in the back of the cave for a little bit, just so I can warm up? And how long does it go?
5 minutes. Um, you check your fingers. They're not turning blue. You're just uncomfortable.
I'll maintain uncomfort for the sake of their uncomfort. It would be uncomfortable in such a dark place to be enacting this immediately,
Do you
especially
tell
for my,
Stella about it?
especially for Stella.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I'll tell Stella. I'll say, don't worry, I won't use this right next to you, but I don't think this is much good for you.
What does it do?
And I'll
Oh,
explain. It
well,
basically makes you a beacon.
oh, that's cool. That would provide you some protection against my kind.
That's what I was thinking.
Um, because that is one of the things, like I've told you before. When you're in the sunlight, when a vampire is in the sunlight, they can't regenerate. They can't shapeshift. So it makes
Probably will take a lot more damage than most.
and it makes killing them easier because if you can get ready to land the killing blow and activate that, they can't change into mist, they can't get away from you, they can't regenerate, they will die.
Yeah, here's my
So,
question. How heavy is this thing?
surprisingly light. It's only 1 pound.
And how large did you say it was?
Um, Slightly larger than a softball.
Okay. I was kind of hoping for something along the lines of its opposite that I've read about, but this is quite interesting. Yes, I like it, and I put it in a an easily grabbed pouch.
Okay.
Um, I assume that there are some pouches and so on in the hoard that I can.
Um, yeah, you find a leather pouch that this ball actually fits in very nicely.
Perfect. Okay.
It might have actually been the pouch that it came in here with.
Nice.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I put that in. Yes, it's in your equipment. And you do have to attune to it. I
Okay.
don't remember if I said that or not.
Well, the identify would have let me know that.
Yeah.
Uh, so yes, I'll be fondling my ball here.
Okay.
Um,
Change that to once a long
for as
rest.
long as I need to. Um, Cassis, do you have any idea with this how long it's been here, or where your mother
Um,
might have obtained it?
Mom had it when I was born, so I don't know when she got it. She didn't tell me that. I just know she's had it ever since I've been alive, which is only like 3 years. But
I get any sense of the background of it?
does identify give you that much?
I don't know. I think it does in this case because I think we've asked. Um,
You learned that it was created with the daylight spell, so it is like enchanted with the daylight spell.
yeah,
Um,
guess that's about it.
yeah, it doesn't give you a history of the object. Stella. mm, does not have that spell. Oh, she used to have a spell for it, but she doesn't now.
Well, I was abjectly curious, that's all. I realize that it's probably
There is a spell you can
not
learn.
super important.
I don't know if you can learn it. Yes, there is a spell you can learn that would give you what you're looking for. But it's a 5th level spell, though.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, was just maybe, like I said, abjectly curious. I don't want to force a big background history on something that doesn't need it either. Um, okay. Well, yeah. So it's a little interesting, um, and certainly nice to understand how to activate it after the identify. I will go ahead and just for the next 33 minutes or so, just keep doing what I do with identify to confirm what he
Okay.
believes he knows about these things. Let's start with the helmet because that sounded very interesting.
I guess I did not import that. Let me find it for you real quick.
Mm,
Okay, I misnamed it. It's the Dread Helm.
okay.
There is an enchantment on it, which will make your eyes glow red and hides the rest of your face in shadow while you wear it. But otherwise, it has no other benefit.
So it doesn't even magically freak anyone out.
Well, I mean, there's just glowing red eyes inside of a helmet. There's no face, so maybe it's gonna freak people out, but it doesn't like induce freaked outedness.
There's no magical fear to it, huh?
Nope. Just the fear that a person would innately have from being approached by that.
No other dangers on this thing. It's just a minor little trinket, basically
Yep,
that makes your eyes glow and your face dark.
yep. No attunement
I
required.
still kind of love it, um, especially given that I have an armor that would work nicely to enhance the effect. I put it on and make it so to make me look like some kind of like death knight in armor.
Okay. Wow, you look kind of creepy. If I didn't know who you were, I'd think it was even creepier. But I mean, that's pretty cool.
Well, I wouldn't want to freak out my allies.
It's a nice effect, I guess.
And then I am going to use minor illusion to boom my voice into some kind of like Darth Vader-ish sounding.
Ooh, scary.
Hmm, I could like this. And then ghosts start swirling around me as I direct them into and out of my palm. I
Okay.
think I could create some effects.
Well, perhaps you could. And maybe Kassos will let you owe him one. He said you could have one item.
Ah, well, keep these trinkets then.
Hey, just because you sound scary doesn't mean you can mock my trinkets. That's not
I'm
nice.
not saying this. I'm saying these magic items. They're quite good.
You can have the helm. I think it makes you look cool.
I think so too, and I would only ask of the favor. Otherwise, it's a great distraction, any item. And
Alright.
take it off. This is more for theater than any.
The chainmail is heavy armor. It has a 17 AC, which is +1 to your AC while wearing it. And that is it. There's no curse. Well,
Yeah.
actually, you wouldn't know if there's a curse on it or not, but I just let it slip.
Identify
There's
is
not a curse on it.
very much. That's why you use it.
Um, some items don't actually have the curse revealed through identify,
Yeah.
but this is okay.
So it seems. All right.
Yep. And then the dagger is a +1 to hit and +1 to damage magic weapon.
Flip it around in my hand, much as I would like this. I don't need it.
Okay. That is the magic items that Kassos has in his little hoard now.
Outstanding. I might return to give you more at some point.
Only if you can figure out a way to get down safe, because, like, it's not worth you breaking your neck to, like, bring me a toy.
She's better at getting here than me.
Yes, but in a form of a bat, I'm not sure how heavy an item I can carry.
Yeah, that's a
They might
point.
have to be small trinkets. Maybe some rings.
Or maybe we find a way to communicate with you somehow and get you to come out of your hole so that you can collect what we have to give you. That actually does lead me to a few other questions.
Okay.
Stella, your goal with me has always been to give me the opportunity to achieve some kind of vengeance for a family member that, well, all of my family members. It strikes me that the one here who needs it even more is Kassos. And I am thinking, based on what we're seeing here, that my fears that what could take down a mother of Cassos's quality would be something I wouldn't want to face. But having seen you in action, I think that there are a few who could give him the satisfaction of seeing his mother avenged. Is that something that would interest you?
Man, the creature may be big enough that if Kassos was there, he might be in danger as well. We can look into it and investigate it.
The same exists for me.
Well, I mean, and honestly, the same exists for me. You know,
Well, I mean, the quarry
the
that you have in going after my uh,
yes,
my situation as obviously something very dangerous to me, as it would be to him. I have more faith in his ability to defend himself than I do in my own, and
I'm sure that the menfolk who we evaded, they're gonna talk. We'll hear things, and we can begin to
I need you
investigate
to
this.
keep an
And
ear to the ground. Those people that were there, are they from the village?
From what I understood, yes. That's what the stable boy told me. Why people from Lylon didn't go there, why it was people from Riverton, I'm not sure. I do find that interesting because Lylon is much closer.
Hmm.
Well, maybe 10, 15 miles closer, but it was convenient for us. Um, but yes, the men were from Riverton, so maybe at the carnival we'll overhear something.
This is one of the reasons I want to reach out through the theater as well. It gives me a tie to the network of the social tapestry of the entire village.
I think you just want to pick on that poor playwright.
Pick on him?
Yes.
No. Make him decent, despite himself, perhaps.
I don't think he cares about that, but
Of course he does. He just already thinks he is.
mm, you should talk to more of the actors before you,
Well, he wouldn't be doing it if he didn't think he was good.
like I said, you should talk to the other actors and before you judge him too harshly.
Not judging him, not even harshly.
You're suggesting he has a certain amount of pride or arrogance that perhaps he doesn't have.
Or maybe that if he's going to be doing something to try and entertain folks, he should be doing something well. Otherwise, he's wasting their time.
Oh, they wouldn't go to his plays if they thought it was utter shite.
Exactly.
Anyway, like I
They
said,
sadly don't know better.
talk to the other actors, learn more about him.
Of course, that's the idea. Um, and I don't mean to rub his nose in his lack of refinement. I just mean to help him refine. But that said, it's extremely cold in here. I'm going to have to basically get up underneath something. And so at that point, I start to kind of build up a bit of um, things.
It is about 70-ish in there, so it's not cold cold. It's just mostly the dampness of the water on you that was cold. I
Sure.
would assume in this hour you're more comfortable now that you've dried out a little bit. Your body heat has warmed you up. Kassos sitting close to you, so you're not. It's a minor discomfort now.
Are you a good pillow?
I'm kind of scaly. I don't know how comfortable that's gonna be.
Can I can I touch you?
Um, sure. And he extends a wing out to you.
Yeah. I just kind of
It's
feel like, does he feel like a snake or does he feel like a turtle or an alligator or
the
what?
wing is more like how a bat's wing would feel, where it's like a leathery membrane with hard pieces of bone running through it. Um, but if you feel his back, it's more like a mix of a lizard and a tortoise, where the individual scales can like move a little and articulate, and yet it's super hard, like a turtle would be.
Cool.
And it's
I said,
very, it's not dry. It's almost like he's kind of like a fish, where there's like a little slimy sheen on the scales.
okay.
Not like super thick where you pull your hand away and there's like a trail. It just feels.
Oiled.
mucusy, oily.
Yeah, this is cool. Um, I ask him, does anything feel good? Like, is there a way to massage that's like
Uh,
cool, or
I
is every
doubt
kind of
you can
touch kind of
push
like
hard enough.
uncomfortable?
Yeah, I don't think you can push hard enough.
Huh.
So,
So you don't like being scratched behind the ears, or
no, I'm not really like a pet dog or
no?
anything
I
like
know.
that. No.
That's why I'm asking before just doing.
Yeah. No, nothing like that.
You're fascinating. I've never been so close to such a legendary creature.
Well, I wouldn't suggest seeking us out. You know,
Yeah.
the older we get, the more grumpy we get. Probably with power comes a certain element of grumpiness, and we just lash out at people. Or we try to manipulate them because we think we know better than them. Or we just take advantage of them
Because you do.
because, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, you're just lucky to have met me at the right time. We can be friends.
Yeah, well, I would like that.
15 years from now, I might not have let this happen. I might have just shocked you and ate you. Maybe
Maybe
not.
15 years from now. Ah, who knows? 15 years is so long. Um,
Actually, I
I
wouldn't
mean,
shock you and eat you. That's not really in my nature. If you were to attack me, I would shock you and eat you, but I wouldn't just, like, see you on my cliff and kill you. That's not cool.
well, that's good. Good to know. And I asked Stella, how many dragons have you interacted with in your time? And when I say interacted, I mean
What are you wanting, a head
positive
count?
and negative. Hmm?
Sounds like you're looking for a head count.
Well, if that's the majority of your interactions, then
Eh,
I suppose.
I've interacted with a few. I mean, as long as I've lived, it's hard to have not met the acquaintance of at least a few.
And for as fast as you fight,
Oh, a
at what
dragon.
point do they begin to
I don't.
frighten you?
Ancient ones are bad. Great worms are bad.
Of course.
Um,
Yeah.
depending on the adult, it could be bad. Adult reds are not really my friend,
I would
but
imagine fire is not your friend in general.
yes, I will. I'll run away from a red one. Um, but yeah, I've killed a few. It's not something I want to sound boastful about. It was more of a I had to,
No,
but
I'm not asking you to boast. I just kind of wanted to get a better feel for your previous experiences.
I've had I've had some interactions. Some were positive and some not so well. Most of the dragons that I made friends with, though, have either moved on to different planes or have been destroyed. So it's not like we have dragons we can count on as allies.
Now, he's a bronze as opposed to a copper, right?
Yes, he's bronze.
Or not even brass. He's bronze. Okay.
Right,
Um,
I think.
do you have
Why does he
family?
have. All I knew was my mom.
And you were hoping to also know your father.
Yeah, I was hoping to meet my dad, but, that doesn't look like a very plausible occurrence now.
I don't think it was your dad.
Yes,
I,
he's
I
a
would,
bronze dragon.
yeah, I would hope it's not your dad that did this horrible thing to your mother,
Um,
unless that's a mating ritual.
no, no, they don't normally mate that way. Um,
I would think so.
yeah, and plus, I mean, the way I understand it is, Mama lays an egg, Daddy comes and fertilizes it, and poof, it's done. They don't even get to have sex. It's just very businesslike. So,
You know what the word even means. Um,
well, I am a dragon. I mean, I know I'm a child, but I still know a lot.
how
That
long have you been alive?
3 years.
Hmm, there's so much more to learn.
Yeah, Mom just started letting me out. She's kind of overprotective. Maybe she was paranoid. Maybe that's why she wouldn't let me out.
Well, that's something that you can now see why she might have been. Unfortunately, I think many humans don't make the distinction when it comes to dragons. They just
Well, no,
are
we're big.
terrified.
Humans are afraid of anything bigger than them.
uh, Generally. Some are smart enough to know the difference. Many are not.
The smart ones are in a minority, though,
Yes, that's definitely for
and they're
sure.
usually quiet, too. It's the dumb ones that are loud and vocal.
Okay.
I mean,
I kind of understand where you're coming from. Yes. Hmm.
but but yeah, I don't think my mom was worried about humans or elves or anything like that because they don't really come, as far as I know, they don't come down into this cliff area. So I could have at least went and hung out on the beach, but Mom wouldn't even let me do that. So whatever it was that she was afraid of was something that had the capability of accessing us easily.
Even here?
I don't think here they would have had to follow Mom in here, and she was, I guess, usually pretty cautious about making sure she was alone and not followed and such before she came in here. And the reason I know
Hmm.
that is because sometimes she'd say, "Hey, I'll be back in like 15 minutes," and it'd be an hour. And I'd ask her why it took her so long. And she'd be like, "Oh, well, I was worried that someone had followed me, so I kind of flew around further this way or that way in order to throw them off the scent." And yeah, so she
That
definitely
makes
had some paranoia.
not enough, apparently.
And if it was my dad, he would know how to get in here because my egg was in here. So he's been in here. So I don't think it was my dad she was worried about.
Hmm. Stella, do you have any thoughts on this subject?
Um, Nothing that I could, like, have any concrete evidence for. I mean, my first thought is another dragon. Dragons are territorial. They don't want to have competition for food and such, and
Yeah.
that's my first thought is another dragon. Because Also, the humans wouldn't be, the people from Riverton wouldn't be trying to figure out what was going on if other humans had killed a dragon. They would have known about the dragon that got slaughtered.
I don't think that
So,
was a human weapon.
I'm not even sure it was a weapon. It might have just been a tree that someone ripped up out of the ground and threw at it.
Well, that would make it a weapon, but not one that was made to be, no. Hmm.
But Kassos, you'll be okay here, right? Yeah, I'll be fine. I can go swim in the ocean and eat things and hide here, sleep here, start building a treasure hoard, and just remember my mom and the things I already know. So I'll be fine.
Is I would like you to be able to find us to let us know if you needed us in any way, or if you've learned anything about the land or anything about threats such as what your mother was concerned about. And I guess I take a stick and I start drawing out a map to show him how to, from here.
Give me a survival check to see how well you know where you are.
Well, of course, I'm looking at Stella the whole way. Like, am I right about this or that? Allowing her to correct me if I'm not.
She makes a few adjustments to your map, but your general location was close enough.
Okay.
And she
Yeah,
she does mention to him, just look for the house in the mist.
there is one other thing too. Up the way, there's a ruin, and then I tell him of uh, the cave. I would think that such a place could make an excellent secondary place for you.
Um,
Lair,
I don't know. That's kind of close to town,
and it's
and
not
it's
as amphibious. I
and
understand.
it's from what you're telling me, it'd be much easier to get into than this. You almost died because you fell down trying to get into
Uh,
here. It sounds like you were able to get into there with no problem. But I mean, it could be someplace that we could meet.
and it could be some place that you could hide if you're on your way and you wanted to stop in for a drink.
But I
There's
can
a
also
there's a
just
pool at the bottom.
turn into a little boy, and then people will think I'm a little kid, and they'll like give me stuff for free, take care of me, guide me to where I need to go. People usually love abandoned children.
Yeah, some people like to capture them or
Well,
try.
yeah, I mean that could be interesting too. But
Yes, you could make orcs out of them.
yes, turn them into little. Let them ride the lightning.
Yeah. Well, I feel about as safe as I could possibly feel being in this company, and we've been going all evening. Um, and I mean, unless you wanted to try to get the horses and teleport them back, is it better to rest out the night here just in case something knew his mother intimately and would return to maybe take advantage of what he can't protect?
Um,
You know
well,
who I'm talking about.
there is that, but there's also the fact that now that it's daylight out there, I don't really want to risk falling down either. Being in the
Yeah,
ocean isn't exactly calming for me, because, like, let's say a big ass shark came up and bit me. I'm not going to heal from that while I'm in the water.
so just hanging
So,
out here until
yeah,
evening.
I would prefer to stay here.
Okay,
Both
all
the
right.
reasons are good. I don't want to go out in the day.
Yeah, and I want to give it a
Well,
little time.
I don't want to be in the water in the day. Because, I mean, if it was dark, I get wounded in the water. At least once I get to the beach, I'll start recovering again.
Right, right.
So, from a selfish point of view, I want to chill here tonight.
No problem. Castus, Travis will watch over you for the evening or for the day.
Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep on my mom's hoard. And he goes and lays down on the gold.
And I'll play a lullaby.
Okay, give me a performance.
Don't worry, he wasn't sharing any naked chicks or anything. Oh, yeah, yeah. There we go.
Alright. Um, it was alright. It was pretty good. And you think you hear him sleeping. You can't see him. He's kind of rolled. He was watching you for the first couple of minutes, and then he kind of rolled away, and now he's where you can't see his face anymore.
At that point, then I'll let it kind of taper off.
All right, you're gonna go to sleep now.
And I look over at Stella. I don't like leaving him on his own, but I
Um,
get the impression it's going to be difficult to tell him not to.
I think that he'll be okay. And if
He
something
should
is
be.
hunting
He's
him,
stronger than a lion.
if something is hunting him, and we take him to the manor, then that something's gonna come to the manor. And if it is super big, we're putting a lot of people at risk. And this is kind of the way nature works. Not to be cold, but parents die, children survive. Or they don't. But I think he's better suited for being an orphan than others would be. I mean, you saw him fry two of those orcs just instantly.
As I said, he's stronger than a lion, and lions are.
And the ocean has a lot of food for him.
That's what we wouldn't have.
Yeah, he's gonna eat a lot of fish.
Mhm. He needs to.
So, no, I think this is best for him,
Ah,
and
still,
hopefully the creature that killed his mom doesn't know about him or doesn't know how to get here.
I wish he knew how to send us some sort of message if he needed to.
Well, we don't know exactly what he's going to do. Maybe he'll be one of those dragons that pursues a magical life,
Mm,
and he can learn a spell or two that would let him communicate with us.
yeah. Well, he's kind of part of our environment, so I'm sure we'll be visiting.
Yeah, I mean, it's only like 45 miles from here to our house. So we can pop over and visit once in a while.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Or are you ready to doze off?
No, I'm ready to doze.
Alright. Um, you fall asleep, and I need a perception check at disadvantage. Wow. Okay. Alright. You get a full day's rest, and you awake completely refreshed. All of your wounds have healed, all of your spell slots have been returned to you, and you are ready for the next day. We'll cut it there.
Well, obviously. Yeah. Okay.
It's 10 o'clock almost.
Yeah.